Welcome back to Dead Reckoning, the Human Life Expectancy channel. In this video, we'll explore the coming extension of human life expectancy. We humans are amazing. We're clearly the most overachieving species on the planet. In just the last 120 years, less than 1,000th of the time we've been around, our technology and culture advanced to the point where archaeologists and other scientists tell us that we've entered the Anthropocene era, where the actions of man determine the fate of life on Earth going forward. And for good reason. During this short period, we've grown exponentially and expanded around the globe. To feed our growing population, our agriculture has also expanded exponentially. Our livestock now comprises much of the life on our planet. We've bred new forms of cereals, fruits, and vegetables, and chickens, cows, pigs, and sheep that bear little resemblance to their wild ancestors. We keep about 26 billion chickens, compared to 1.5 billion of the most populous species of bird in the wild. We also have over 1 billion cattle, 600 million pigs, and many other livestock animals. Also, our 600 million pet cats and our 400 million pet dogs completely eclipse the 20,000 lions and the 20,000 wolves left in the wild. Humans and our domesticated animals now represent over 90% of the global biomass of animals weighing over 1 kilogram. We've transformed between 1/3 and 1/2 of the land surface of Earth and have unquestionably created what archaeologists call a global stratigraphic signature that will be legible millions of years from now, just as existed in all prior epochs in the history of life on Earth. Even our bodies have changed significantly. The average human has gained approximately 4 inches in height in the last 120 years, and our average body mass index, BMI, has increased from healthy to overweight in just the last 50 years. Here in the US, the average adult weight has increased over 30 pounds just since 1960. And, as for our particular area of interest, in the last 120 years, we've made unprecedented progress in extending human life expectancy. Since 1900, we've more than doubled human life expectancy, or as we call it, HLE, from 32 to 73.4 years. That's an average advance of about 4 months per year. This is truly astonishing. These are lives, not just numbers. And in the blink of an eye, from an evolutionary perspective, we're suddenly living twice as long. This has got to be one of humanity's most underrated accomplishments. If any other species on Earth had achieved this, we definitely want to have a close look at what was going on. We'll tell the story of how we achieved this miraculous achievement in upcoming videos. But as amazing as this story is, what might happen to human life expectancy in the future is even more interesting and consequential. Recent advances in technology and medicine, including genetic engineering, are bringing this to an entirely new level. We've already extended healthy life expectancy by 10 times in worms and 30% in mice and other mammals. While this has not yet been done in humans, it remains a distinct possibility. We'll share compelling evidence that supports our prediction that global human life expectancy could increase by at least 10 years in the next 20 years. And even this could be understating the possibility significantly. Soon, we may even be able to cure aging itself. Whether you fully embrace it or are inclined to resist it, new technologies and medical advances have given us unprecedented powers to edit the code of life, DNA, and further guide the evolution of ourselves and other species. It's not an overstatement to say that how we use this capability will determine the future of life on Earth. Despite these advances, we also face issues that threaten our very existence. We've yet to work out how we'll control our numbers and live sustainably into the future. And it's not just we humans who are at risk. As we and our livestock have taken over the planet, we've caused the extinction of at least 50,000 species. Author Elizabeth Kolbert and others say that we're in the midst of the 6th extinction, which is caused by man. We also face other truly existential issues, including climate change, pandemics, and the threats of accidental or intentional nuclear or biological destruction that have to be addressed globally, yet we lack the resolve necessary to address them. One reason we fail to act is that many of us haven't fully reckoned with our own deaths. After all, death is probably the single least pleasant thing to think about. The notion that we and all that we love will turn to dust can be scary, unnerving, and disheartening. For some, it can make daily life seem meaningless, making it hard to go on. On the other hand, it can also motivate us to do and enjoy all that we can during our highly improbable ephemeral existence, but we'll leave that for another time. As a result, many prefer to ignore death altogether or choose to believe false but reassuring stories about death and afterlife. The problem is that this causes us to have blind spots regarding death that prevent us from doing what's best for ourselves, our communities, our species, and the planet. These blind spots leave us rudderless, without a grasp of the relative magnitudes of the things that actually kill us, crippling our ability to respond effectively and help as many people as possible to live as long as possible. Take COVID-19, for example. To date, this disease has killed over 6 million people globally. Just in the US, we've lost over 1 million people. That's 2.5 times the total number of Americans lost in World War II and over 10 times the number of US soldiers killed in the Vietnam War. From December 2020 through January 2021, the number of people in the US that died each day from COVID-19 is more than the number of people killed in the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, or Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. Both events that shaped US domestic and foreign policy for decades thereafter. Our response to COVID seems way too small by comparison, with many even refusing to take life-saving vaccines. Yet, as horrifically high as those numbers are, even COVID-19 deaths are small compared to the other, perhaps less dramatic things that actually kill most of us. In 2020, COVID was responsible for about 3% of global deaths. By comparison, 21% died of heart and circulatory diseases, 16% died of cancer, 10% died of stroke, and on and on. Seems even more like we're under-responding to these more common causes of death, many of which can be reduced by changing behaviors such as smoking, overeating, or lack of exercise. So, if our goal is to extend human life expectancy, shouldn't we focus our attention, our treasure, and our efforts based on the things that actually kill us and our abilities to do something about them? It's time for a dead reckoning. We've got to bravely acknowledge our own deaths, look at the things that do us in, and work together to minimize them going forward. Also, you might know that in navigation, dead reckoning is the process of calculating your position by using a previously determined position, or fix, and advancing that position based on estimated speeds and directions over time. That's exactly what's needed now in forecasting HLE. Since future HLE increases could be much larger than past increases, we can't simply extrapolate from history. The historical HLE advancement of 4 months per year might prove to be much too low. Instead, our dead reckoning process uses current HLE as our fix and advances it based on the expected rate of change going forward based on actuarial determinations of how new technologies and medical advances affect the various causes of death. Also, tracking HLE will help us learn which factors impact HLE, helping us to extend life expectancy over time. Even more, we'll see that adopting the objective of extending global HLE could help us to achieve species-wide objectives and truly earn the right to call ourselves Homo sapiens, the man who thinks. Dead reckoning gives us plenty to think about. So much, in fact, that we've organized our videos into 4 groups so that you can focus on videos of particular interest to you. Group 1 videos have red banners and focus on the extraordinary historical growth of HLE, how human evolution is itself evolving, and brings us up to how we're dying today. Group 2 videos have green banners and focus on extraordinary new technologies and medical advances that offer the prospect of extending HLE. We'll cover all kinds of IT, new energy, clean water, food, and transportation technologies. We'll also cover genetic and cell technologies and others with the largest potential to impact HLE going forward. Group 3 videos have orange banners and focus on factors that could slow advancement in HLE, such as potential new ways to perish going forward, resistance to new life-extending technologies, and ethical and legal restrictions. In Group 3, we'll also bring it all together and show you how we got to our current prediction that HLE could advance by at least 10 years in the next 20 years. Finally, Group 4 videos have blue banners and focus on the potential implications of living longer. If our prediction that HLE could increase by 10 or more years in the next 20 years is anywhere close to right, we've got a lot to do to prepare. This group of videos covers personal impacts, economic impacts, societal impacts, and even who we're becoming as a species. It also covers specific things that you can do to help yourself and others to prepare for the massive change to come and to live longer. We hope you'll join us in this journey of our lifetimes. In our next video, we'll explore how exponential human population growth will likely end. In the meantime, please hit the like button below, subscribe to the Dead Reckoning channel to make sure you don't miss our next videos, and post comments for the topics you'd like to have us cover. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, please do what you can to help yourself and others to live longer.